In this video, I'm going to go over conditional formatting rules in Google Sheets and how to set them up. This includes setting up color scales, looking at if values are greater or lower than a certain value, and also setting up a custom formula in case you want to highlight an entire row. In this example here, I've got a list of stock tickers and I've got their historical performances for the month of August. So I can see how they've done in each one of those years for the month of August. I've got a win percentage, so how many of those months out of the past 10 that they finished above 0, so they're in positive territory, and what their average return was over that time. So I've already copied and pasted these as values. This is an existing spreadsheet that I have set up. So in this example here, though, I'm just going to set up the conditional formatting rules. So I'm going to show you how we can do this. So to get started, let's say I want to set up a color scale for these historical months, and I want to show from lowest to highest, easy to be able to easily see which were the highest and which ones were the worst performers. So I'm going to select all the cells that I want to include in my conditional formatting rule. So I'm going to start with 2024, the first month here for MasterCard, go all the way down here. So I'm going to select my entire range. I don't want to, in this case, include this win percentage or this average percentage because that's going to affect the scale, and I want those to be filtered or have conditional formatting rules set up differently. So in this case, I'm just comparing the monthly ranges, and this is important because everything you select is going to be included in your range. So if you don't want large values like 70%, let's say, skewing the rest of your conditional formatting, then you don't want to include that in here. That's why it's important you're doing an apples to apples comparison. I'm looking at monthly returns, so I'm only setting up conditional formatting for monthly returns. So now if I go under the format, there's an option for conditional formatting right here. If I click this, I'll now have an option, and you can see it defaults to a single color, but in this case I think it makes sense to use a color scale. So you can see by default it goes from white all the way to green. And so the minimum value is going to be set to this color. Right now there's no midpoint, and then the maximum value has a green color. Now in this case, because I'm also dealing with negatives, I want to put in a red color as well. So what I always do in these cases is I do set up a midpoint amount. So I just change this to a number and just set it right to 0. So the idea is once you get to 0, it's white, and then your lowest value is going to be red, and then leave your max value as whatever shade of green you want. But basically by doing this, now we've set up an easy conditional formatting rule where all of a sudden it's easy to see where the biggest declines were and for which stock and for which month and year, and also where the biggest gains were. So it's an easy way to divert your eyes to the highest and lowest values while also ignoring those where, let's say, the returns were pretty mundane and fairly low, so you don't have to worry about that. So it makes it easy to visualize this data set right away. Now let's also create conditional formatting rules for this win percentage. I want to highlight cells where the win percentage was high, let's say 70% or greater. So in this case, I'm going to select this range here. And again, I'm only selecting the range that I want to apply for conditional formatting rules. And so the rule that I'm going to set up is only going to look at this specific range. So I'm going to hit done to exit out of here. And now I'm going to create another rule. And now you'll notice because I'm on this range, there's no conditional formatting rules set up for here. If I were to click here, now I see that color scale that I've set up. So if you don't see your conditional formatting rules, make sure you've got the correct range selected. At least one of the cells you've selected has to be on that range. So I'm going to go back and select this, create an additional rule. And in this case, I'm going to use a single color. So I use the color scale. This time I'm just going to look at setting up a single color, and I'm going to say, okay, if the value is greater than, or you can use greater than or equal to, obviously there's a lot of different rules you can apply. So I'm just going to say greater than, let's say 0.6. So more than 60%. So that's how we would format percentages. 0.6 says anything over 60%. So I'm going to leave that as highlighting green, so I can right away see the values that were higher than 60%. I'm going to hit done. And now let's say I want to create another rule, this time focusing on when it was below 50%. So particularly poor performing stocks for the month of August. So what I could do is I could say, okay, add another rule. And now what I can do is look at if they're less than, in this case, 0.5, and now set this to a red highlight. And you can see it's a bit hard to read, so I may want to adjust the font, which I can do here. So even though this looks white, I'm going to actually select it to be white, just so it's not set to automatic formatting. And now it's a lot easier to read. So you've got a lot of control over your ranges and how you want your conditional formatting to be set up. So I'm going to click on done. And so, I could do a similar thing for the average, where I could use a color scale or a certain threshold. But what I'm going to do in this next rule is I'm going to apply formatting across an entire row. So this is a little bit trickier, but it can be a lot more useful, because let's say I want to highlight rows where the stock has a win rate of at least, or let's say more than 50%, and its average return is more than 2%. So it typically does well in the month of August, and it's usually, and it's averaged a 2% return or better. So in this case, I'm going to select my entire range, and now you can see all the conditional formatting rules are on here. I'm going to click add another rule, and you can double check to make sure that the range you've got selected is correct. So I've got A5, so I'm starting from here all the way to M29, which is down here. So I've got my entire table selected. And for the formatting rules, I'm going to select at the very bottom, custom formula is. So this is where I can specify my custom formula. And what I'm going to do is start with the equal sign and use the AND function, because I'm going to specify multiple criteria. So the first rule is going to be, let's say we're going to look at this win percentage to say if it's more than 50%. In this case, I want to freeze that cell, or that column C, and so that's why I'm adding the dollar indicator before, to say that regardless of which cell we're on here, for that first condition, we're always looking at column C. And I'm entering 5 for the row, and this is important because my range starts at row 5. So keep that in mind. Whatever range you're starting at, the first row, that's where you're going to want to reference when you're setting up formulas like this, to make sure that the formula always is going to have that as its baseline, as its starting point. So when you're on cell, a row 6, it's going to be referencing that column C, but the row number is going to adjust to 6. So that's really important to make sure that you're freezing the right cell and you're paying attention to where your range is starting from, to set that as your reference point. So I'm going to say C5 is greater than 0.5. So that's my first condition. Then comma, my second condition is going to be that the average is more than 2%. So in this case, I'm freezing column B. So I'm putting a $ B, and it's going to go back to referencing that 5th row once again, and now saying greater than 0.02. And now I'm going to close this out. And now you can see some conditional formatting has started to apply. So this case, I'm going to use a fill color that's black and a text that's white. Now, one problem you'll see right now is you may have noticed some of these cells changed, and this is incomplete. This looks a bit messy, right? So this is probably not what you want, right? It does the highlighting, but not all the way through. And so to fix this, we fix our hierarchy. So here we have our conditional formatting rules, and what we can do is just drag this one to the very top to say, okay, this is more important than everything else. So now if that rule is applied, it's going to be applied across the board, and then only if it isn't applied, then these other ones are going to be applied afterwards. So by this way, we can set up our hierarchy to make sure that the most important one is at the very top, and then followed by the others. And by setting it up this way, in a logical way, we can avoid that situation where conditional formatting rules look a little bit messy. So if something doesn't look right, or if it's not being applied in the correct order, just make sure you check your hierarchy and maybe adjust it to make sure that it's being set up in the order that you want. So that wraps up this video on conditional formatting in Google Sheets. I hope you learned something. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.